Talks about decommissioning.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Commissioner meeting for 7th of August. You join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, that sounds good in the crowd. First up, we have approved the minutes from the July 18th meeting.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes from the July 18th meetings.
Second that motion.
No other discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Approve the accounts payable vouchers.
I'll make a motion to approve accounts payable vouchers as submitted.
I second that.
No other discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And approve the payroll docket.
Make a motion to approve the payroll docket as submitted.
I second that.
No other discussion. All those approved say aye. Next up, we have the Chapo settlement agreement. Mr. Pat.
So, all right, so just brief history. So May of 2016, the county filed a zoning enforcement action with regard to property owned by Joseph and Sherry Chapo that was being operated as a shooting range. County's position was that that property and its use as a shooting range was a violation of the county's zoning ordinances. In 2018, then, the Chapos filed a federal lawsuit against the county, alleging that the county had violated their civil rights through its zoning enforcement action. And eventually that federal case was stayed pending the outcome of the state case. Over the course of the last 9 years, the state court has issued preliminary injunctions in favor of the county, granted summary judgment in favor of the county, and eventually ordered a permanent injunction preventing the Chapos from operating the shooting range on their property, as well as a continuous enforcement order allowing the county to remediate any future similar violations of the zoning ordinance, and then also ordered the Chapos to pay fines and attorney's fees to the county in a total judgment amount of $237,000, which was 15% of the available fines at the time. Shortly thereafter, the federal court then, through the federal case, dismissed the federal case, finding that the dispositive issues had been resolved by the state court case. The county began an enforcement procedure, and the Chapos filed an appeal with the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals, appealing the federal court's decision. So there's been 9 years of litigation involved in this case, involving both the federal court and state court. It's gone up to the Indiana Court of Appeals, the Indiana Supreme Court, and it was also pending then before the 7th Circuit. There were appeals still pending in front of the state court, and the federal appeal was still pending. And in April then of this year, the 7th Circuit asked that the parties attend a pre-appeal mediation. From the very beginning, the county has only sought to enforce the zoning ordinance and prevent violations of that ordinance. And as a result of years of litigation in both cases, the county also wanted to restore the county funds that had been expended and utilized for the legal and litigation fees. So thus, at the mediation, the participants at that mediation agreed to bring a proposal to the county commissioners to settle all litigation. And what that would include would be in exchange for the Chapos payment of $125,000, which covers all of county's attorney fees and litigation fees in both the state and federal case. That's where that number came from. That would result in dismissal of all pending appeals and final resolution of all litigation involved in the issue. The county would accept that payment as satisfaction of the judgment. That's what the proposal is. However, the injunctive order would continue, as well as the continuous enforcement order, meaning that the injunctive order enjoining them from using the property as a shooting range, or sorry, operating a shooting range there would continue, and continuous enforcement, meaning that the county could still go out and remediate any violations of the ordinance that were similar, would remain in full force and effect.
That's false. That's false. That's not what we agreed to. And that is not the agreement. We have not
No, I'm providing-
signed a settlement. So what you're signing there is not what we.
I'm not recommending that commissioners sign a settlement.
It is not for any similar violations. It is only for a commercial shooting range, Mr. McGrath. You need to quit manipulating this record and tell.
I'm not trying to manipulate any record. Continues.
That's not the last agreement that we agreed to sign, that we haven't even signed yet. So
That's correct.
you're reading this to the commissioners.
That is correct, that we do not have a signed agreement from the Chapos at this time. That this is the public meeting that was set, and so the recommendation would be that if the commissioners are inclined to sign the agreement that's before you, that you sign that contingent on the Chapos executing the same agreement. So that I'm not asking that the commissioners actually execute the agreement today, but that what you would be considering and deciding today is that if the Chapos in fact execute the agreement that's before you, that you would be given authority to execute that same agreement.
To me, like, we need to wait till they sign
Which you certainly can, yeah. So, I mean, as things stand right now, unfortunately, we were not able to acquire signatures from the Chapos prior to today's meeting. So certainly you could table it to a future meeting and wait for the Chapos execution if that was what the commissioners wanted to do.
I mean,
it. Make a motion.
Yeah. I move that we table until we get a signed agreement.
I second that motion.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That work?
Certainly.
All right, thank you, Pat. Unified Development Ordinance Amendments. We have two of those. Barrel warehouses. Read the first one.
Background on.
Yes, yes.
So there was, there were several, or some built in the neighboring county, the barrel warehouses. And there's a special. This term that you call them.
Artesian.
Well, that's the ones that are okay. Those are the smaller ones, but the barrel warehouses that have VOC emissions, so volatile organic compounds being emitted from them that result in a mold forming on houses or surrounding structures. We did not have anything breaking out these particular barrel warehouses in the first UDO. And with one being built in neighboring county, the Plan Commission figured we needed to update them to include that. It tried to differentiate between the ones that emit the VOCs and those that don't. And then some of the smaller, the artesian, so to speak, the smaller distilleries and breweries and stuff. So the main point was to make sure that the larger ones that were emitting these VOCs, you could get a special exception, but that it was highlighted as a different than just a kind of the artesian, the small breweries and wineries and distilleries and things like that. So that's what those sets of amendments were to that. I think you received some calls on.
Yes, yeah.
About Jennings County and different.
DR folks up around DuPont.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I will read the,
So the highlight is what's been incorporated, right?
Yes,
Or
those are the things that have been added
included.
or modified. I'm not sure exactly. Well, this one was relatively small in the changes. I think we handle it the way we do the other one, read the ordinance once and then go to the second reading at our next meeting.
Okay.
First page here.
Yeah, that's gonna be our ordinance.
Yeah.
Can I ask what changes you're talking about?
For the barrel houses,
Yeah,
the ones that have been posted on the website for the last,
so no changes from the plan commission?
No.
Their recommendation, so you just said changes, that it was just adding more barrel warehouses. It wasn't added before, it's just adding it. And that's
it was all the changes that the plan commission brought up at their public hearings about the barrel warehouses.
You just said changes, I didn't know if it was to the barrel warehouse ordinance that you were talking.
Well, it's all, it's part of the whole UDO, but it was changes to add the barrel warehouses that weren't added in the original.
And the plan commission, from the time they recommended to you, there hasn't. It was their final recommendation to you,
Correct.
and that's published on the website.
On the website, yep.
UDO.
Well, it's not part of the new
Correct.
UDO yet, right? It's just the proposed changes, so. And we're just,
Website.
but yeah. Couple, maybe 3 weeks after the last plan commission meeting, the public hearing on the barrel warehouses, but I don't know the exact date. But we're not gonna pass them tonight. We're gonna read our ordinance the first time, and they'll be on the website for people to look at.
You're reading it, so I'm just trying to understand what it is that you're talking about when you said changes, so.
They're there for you to look at, okay? I'm not. So,
But the UDO that's on the website was last updated, it was either in March or May. I'm sorry, I don't have that date.
of 2025? No. The UDO has not been updated yet.
The draft ordinance.
Well, the draft ordinance, they've been up there. So I don't believe at the plan commission meeting, we made any changes to the barrel warehouse additions since that time.
Okay, that was my question, thank you.
All right, ordinance number 2025-5, an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance of Jefferson County. Whereas the Board of Commissioners of Jefferson County is advised that the Jefferson County Plan Commission has held a public hearing following the giving of required notice on an amendment to the zoning ordinance, and whereas said commission has given a favorable recommendation for the amendment to the zoning ordinance, and whereas this board concurs in the recommendation of said commission. Now therefore, be it ordained by the Board of Commissioners of Jefferson County, State of Indiana, that the Jefferson County zoning ordinance shall be amended to wit, attachment, winery, brewery, distillery, and barrel warehouse amendment. The foregoing ordinance will be passed and adopted at another date. First reading. Then the solar. Yeah. Background on that, either one?
So along the same lines, and we, last September, what? You know the date? We passed in a moratorium on any future solar applications until we could update the solar ordinances. So we had them. But after we went through the first round, we figured there were some things we needed to update the plan commission, and people were encouraging us to. So we did go through and made updates. And so I think after the last public hearing, there may be some wording changes. I think I want to say with respect to when the material safety data sheets had to be turned in, it had to be part of the building permit or the development plan, or yes,
Yeah,
part of that.
part of that.
Yeah, it had to be upfront, so they had to turn those in. And then there's another, I thought, minor change that we made in the wording at the Remember if we
The
did?
most recent change?
Well, I think there was something that we made at the last plan commission meeting that had to be updated.
Yeah, right, the MSDS forms.
Well, there was that, but I thought there was one other little thing that we,
Permit requirement.
And you change the setbacks.
well, the setbacks were talked about at the plan commission meeting and they haven't changed from that meeting.
No.
So they're still the same as when we left them. Included the public hearing.
Still 500 feet.
Mhm.
How much is the?
May I ask a question? I'm sorry.
Just a second, so. And. So I think, unless you can think of another change, I can't remember that there was any other change that came up from the plan.
Changes that were made at the prior to, and then your final hearing, which the minutes are not available on the plan commission side yet. So I can't provide that other than watching YouTube to find out what they did. But these were the recommendations that were tabled, and then they were heard at the following hearing. Well, none of those changes are under published draft ordinance, so we don't know what you're voting on. Or reading. What you're reading into the record, none of that has been updated since May 22nd.
I mean. We're not, once again, we're not passing these tonight. We're gonna have the first reading of the ordinance to amend them. These, if, I thought they were posted, they'll be posted that you can look through them, and review them, and there will be 2 more readings of the ordinance before.
So that will be considered, the solar ordinance isn't being read tonight.
No,
So we'll have a first reading at your next schedule.
well, the ordinance to pass them or approve the recommendation will be read tonight. The updated part of the solar ordinance will be on the website, and you can look at those when you have a chance.
And all the changes are highlighted.
Right, so
And
they're,
you won't vote at your next meeting.
well, there have to be 3 readings, so unless we have,
You're not gonna wait then.
no, I just said we'd have 3 readings, didn't I?
Well, I'm
I did.
clarifying.
Well,
Because, well, there's some confusion here as to what you're actually reading, what's in the record.
Who's
I mean,
running
I
the
think
meeting? You guys are hers.
so she has a question, that's fine. So,
If you're gonna read it, you may be.
well, we're just, the ordinance that accepts the recommendation is what we're gonna read tonight. We're not,
Okay, that should
We're not-
answer my question.
okay, we're not gonna read all the changes to the ordinance because they were put out there for the plan commission public hearing. So, and there may be in a couple of, once again, the MSDS sheets on,
Right. That's been up.
yeah, and that's been updated, but I thought maybe, I can't think of,
I can't think of it.
so, but they're all highlighted for people to read. So,
Right. I will read the first reading of ordinance number 2025-6. An ordinance amending the zoning ordinance of Jefferson County, whereas the Board of Commissioners of Jefferson County is advised that the Jefferson County Plan Commission has held a public hearing following the giving of required notice on an amendment to the zoning ordinance, and whereas said commission has given favorable recommendation for the amendment to the zoning ordinance, and whereas this board concurs in the recommendation of said commission. Now, therefore, be it ordained by the Board of Commissioners of Jefferson County, State of Indiana, that the Jefferson County zoning ordinance shall be amended to wit, attachment, commercial solar energy systems zoning amendments. Foregoing, passing the ordinance. Reading 1. And next, Rikers Ridge Sewer Wastewater Project, Patty and Renisha.
Sure, that stuff for you. I'm here to give you a little update on a few things concerning the Rikers Ridge Sewer District and their future application to OGRA for wastewater improvements. Originally, the project was much larger, as you guys know, and that was gonna be 4.5 million. Over time, they've scaled it down to just some plans that would mitigate the most urgent issues and with new developments over SRF funding and a new plot of land acquired to build a new lift station two instead of mediating the old lift, the lift station at the old location. They just picked a different spot and they'll build a completely new lift station. So the new project cost has gone up to $2,770,000. That construction and non-construction estimates, that's a breakdown of that for you guys. It's color coded along with the last page on those next 4 pages of their probable project cost that came from their engineer at Midwestern, and that last page just kind of color codes that breakdown there. That's just very simplified. And of course, we're still working with the board on steps to take in order to prepare for the application to OGRA. So we're so far on track for round 2 this year. Hopefully that will not be pushed back again. And so that proposal deadline is due in October. It'll open up, I think, in September in a few weeks. And then it'll be due in October, and then the final application due in December, just before Christmas. So of course, we are applying for that maximum 750,000. And then combined with that local match it'll leave a little bit of a funding gap that hopefully SRF will get a good interest rate on that loan for the gap that's left, and hopefully we'll get that maximum grant amount and we'll be able to fund it. So we had the lady that works with the board for rate studies do different scenarios, and the lowest, most optimal rate is gonna be 29.7%. So it will be a very significant, considerable rate hike there. I do have further documents with that breakdown that I can send to you guys. I just didn't bring them with me tonight. But they will also be made public at the upcoming meeting that we're gonna have the public input session. So that's that next part, the community outreach, because that is also points on OGRA's application. So we need the county's help again in helping us to spread the word. So I have created a flyer. That's what is tacked to the back of the packet that you guys have there. And on the other side, the back of it is a Facebook page that the sewer board has a consultant that they're working with and is getting them tech ready. And so that QR code, if you scan it with your cell phone camera, it takes you to the board's Facebook page that they now have. And that is a way that they have set up in order for their customers to be able to contact them directly. If people go on the Facebook page and they post a comment, it may not show up publicly, but the person who administers that page will be able to see it. And so they can, either decide to leave that comment to show up publicly or just leave it private. But either way, it's another way for customers to be able to communicate with the board over any concerns or questions that they may have with, their particular bill or, any issues that they're having with their systems at home. Did I leave anything out?
So the public engagement, outreach meeting that we're gonna have is, August 22nd.
25th.
And we're having 2 sessions. One will be, like early afternoon from 11 to 12. And then the other one will be from 5:30 to 6:30. They're gonna be at the Rikers Ridge Fire Department, which has a really nice meeting area there for us to use. So we encourage public to come and attend and, either voice complaints or voice support. We need to show both for our application. We need to show support and need and impact, in order to score well in the application. So we want to get the word out. And we're excited that we're finally ready to put in the application. So, yeah,
Good work.
thank you.
Mhm. You put in quite a bit of time.
Oh, yeah.
Where did they get these quotes from?
From, the engineer, Midwestern Engineers.
So it's not realistic price then.
It's probably, I would say they've more than likely overestimated than
You answered my
underestimated.
question.
Yeah, so probably, to help. You'd rather overestimate than underestimate. So we won't know the actual cost really until we let it out for bid and contract bid on the actual work to be done. So, okay. All right, any other questions? All right. So while I'm here, I was so lucky that yesterday they released the housing preservation grant application finally from USDA. So I wanted to let you guys know that we are submitting an application for Jefferson County to benefit from that program. Okay, and what we use those monies for is typically to partner with the Okra's owner occupied rehab program grant. So one thing that you need to know is that with the Rikers Ridge application, you guys may not be able to be the applicant for it. We may have to have the city of Madison or the town of Hamburg or somebody like that, or we may do two separate applications. It just depends on how things fall once we find out if it's been funded or not. So, because you have to be under construction in order to apply for a new grant. And I think there's a couple projects coming down the pipe for Jefferson County that you guys are gonna be the applicants for. So anyway, okay, so I went ahead and put an advertisement in the paper day because I had to, otherwise I wouldn't meet the publishing requirements for it. So I hope you don't mind that I did that. Didn't cost you guys anything. But so we're working on getting another rehab grant for you guys. So, and Bobby, you had contacted me just a couple weeks ago and I told you, I didn't even know if we were gonna have it around this year because they usually release this back in May. So I was super excited that we're getting anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good.
all right.
Thank you.
I think that's all the updates we have for you guys. Great.
Thank you, good.
And we'll be back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bonnie, are you up next?
I am.
All right. How are you, ma'am?
I won't lie, I'm a little nervous.
Oh, no.
but
Why?
That's okay,
Well,
because I talk really fast, so if I
Just
do,
the only I would say is breathe somewhere along the line.
helpful.
We,
Or cough if I keep.
well, no, I'm just saying if you pass out, we. if you-
We can handle that.
Well, I think we could, but it would be a little, not a good thing. So just breathe every once,
Two.
breathe every once in a while.
Okay. Okay, so I'm Ani Morley and I am the interim director of court services. We are here today to request opiate resettlement funds to cover our pretrial officer's salary. That amount is $58,473. In the handouts that we had attached, you have our budget proposal and our fund request, which I will highlight some of those. There's also information about our pretrial services and several of the studies that we've been able to collaborate with external partnerships on. The following page is our 2026 budget breakdown. And then the next two pages are beautifully color-coded ones that I would love to take credit for, but I did not do. But that kind of breaks down our budget even further. To be honest, we were handed a financial mess. Looking at our anticipated expenses, pardon me, we're looking at about 2.1 million. If we look at what funds we have available coming in for 2026, right now we are at 1.6. So we looked at originally a deficit of over $500,000. We sat and talked and made cuts in our operations. We decided not to fill either position of the supervisor or the PO that were both recently no longer employed at court services, so that helped us budget wise. After making all of those cuts in any series, we're still here with a deficit of $188,618. I'm here because we need help. We didn't make this mess, and we have been fully committed to fixing this mess. However, we are in it deep. This is the first time we have come asking for these funds. I don't anticipate coming back and asking for these next year. However, we need this desperately now. We have 2 pretrial officers. We have a coordinator and an officer right now in court services. That is someone in our jail 365 days a year. If I have to cut that position, that leaves 1 person to cover all new arrests and do assessments, no vacation, no sick times, nothing like that. These assessments are used by judges to set bond, to reduce bond, any of those things. Without any of these assessments, they can't look at the safety of our community. I can't tell you that all of those assessments are involved with substances, but the majority of them are. Even when you look at your higher domestic cases, there's a large number of those that also where substance use or addiction is involved in those arrests. We are in desperate needs of funds this year. I've brought back up, Paul, is there anything else you would like to say on that?
You did a good job covered.
I hear,
Paul doesn't have a salary next to his name, is that?
well, this is a weird surprise to tell him this.
He's a student of mine, and they're not gonna give me some.
Well, that's why I brought him.
Oh, I see, yeah.
So he is actually our pretrial coordinator, so he is here to help support that. Colin also has a caseload, so they have about 90 participants active on pretrial, and this also helps to assess if people are gonna show up for court. What is their likelihood to reoffend and commit another offense? Without help from Jefferson County right now, I can't guarantee that we will have someone who's able to do that 365 days a year, which then also directly affects the safety of our community if we don't have someone to do those assessments.
So your request is just, because you got a lot of numbers here.
No, I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I like numbers.
I was gonna
I
say,
mean, that's fine with me, but I just wanna make sure.
yes,
So
so what
the
we are.
58,473, okay.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Just wanna make sure.
And again, whatever help you guys can give us
Sure,
will be
we
greatly
can.
appreciated.
And so this, in some of our questions to others, I mean, this is, so some others could take it a certain amount each year, but this is what you need for this year, right?
For 2026,
right.
yes, sir.
Just So we've received several requests, so we're trying to work through and see what's the best way. I think we have to set up a committee to do it as well, but so we're trying to figure who would be best on that and get that going so we can start.
If I may, this request would also fall under the restricted funds requirements.
Okay.
On that side of things.
Okay, good to know.
It's my numbers guy.
It's all right. Gotta have one.
I absolutely, yes. And we can,
Paul was in chemistry. I don't know if he got numbers on.
I had a lot of help on that.
You did okay. I mean, and,
okay,
well, yeah, I mean, he was interested in it. That was the big start. So anyway, but in physics, we did a little Excel, but not in chemistry per se.
You did good.
thanks. If you guys need more, just reach out.
Sure.
I'll do whatever I can.
We're getting to that point where we'll have the committee and then we'll start.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good
You
evening.
guys do.
Faith, I thought she was here somewhere. Did she leave?
Hang on, yeah, the waiting room.
Oh,
The
yeah,
green
that's
room.
right. Yeah.
The green. Come on
The
down.
bullpen. Hi, Faith.
Hello.
How are you this evening?
Good.
Okay. So a couple of events that we have coming up is our Military Appreciation Day stand down event. That's gonna be September 19th. Out at the fairgrounds at the community building from 11 to about 1:30. And then Veterans Day, November 11th, we're gonna have a Veterans Day program at Hunter Hall. And that'll be at 4 p.m. and go till about 6 or 6:30. So those are the two big upcoming events out of our office and the Veterans Council that's coming up towards the end of the year. So I'll just get right into it with our second quarter report. We filed 744 documents for claims and applications. We had 178 in-office appointments and 399 walk-in appointments for the second quarter. I attended 12 veteran meetings. I had 16 home visits, traveled 521.2 miles. We had 945 incoming phone calls and 708 outgoing phone calls. The claims and applications that we filed were for service-connected disability, we filed 429 documents, survivor's pension, 31 documents. We did 16 property tax abatements. And then we filed 267 other documents regarding burials, license plates, healthcare, educational benefits, and records requests. And again, I'm going to give you the second quarter report for the monthly, annual, and back pay awards. And this is just something we keep track of based upon what's coming into us. So it may not be absolute up to date, but total monthly awards is $71,709. Annual awards of $568,088.73. And then back pay awards was $300,190.41. And that is, again, tax-free money that goes directly into the veterans' pockets. So, again, we're averaging, we've seen a downtick on our numbers. We've gotten through the worst part of the PACT Act. The first couple of years after that, we were extremely busy. We're seeing between 175 and still 200 veterans on average per month. So still a high number of veterans. And again, if you're a veteran and you come into our office, we're not going to turn you away. We don't care where you're from, what capacity you served. We're here to help all of our veterans. And then the second form that I gave you, I just wanted to let you guys know. So we have a GDX report that comes out every year, and that is county-wide, and it's broken down by state, and then for each state, it's broken down by county. And on Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs website, they have a tab, and it's a transparency tab. You can click on that, and it'll bring up your state, and then you can look at your county. That GDX report has not come out for last year yet. Usually it comes out end of May, first part of June. When we went to our summer conference and training, we were told that that report was not going to be made available until September or October of this year. So once that report comes out, I will make sure I get that to you guys. So you have everything that we brought into our county for last year. So I just wanted to give you a snapshot of what that looks like, because it still has 2023's figures on there. So again, in 2023, the compensation and pension amount that we brought into just our county alone was $11,629,320. For education and vocational rehabilitation, $405,220. For medical care, $185,990. Insurance and indemnities, $33,000. And that is just for our county. On the monthly reports that I give you, I just started doing it this month. I've been color coding veterans from different counties. with the color chart on there. We've run out of colors because we're helping so many different counties now. So, if there is a veteran that we've helped on that report and it's got a highlighted color on it, I'm now putting in the respective county. So we can break it down a little bit even more for you. So, when I send you the August monthly report, you'll see that. So when you pull it up, it'll have the name, it'll be highlighted with their respective county of what county that veteran is from that came into our office that we filed documentation on. So that's about all I've got right now.
Thanks.
Sure, yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow. Yep. Busy all.
Always.
Brandon,
Hello, good evening.
how are you?
How are you guys?
Good.
Very good.
Buddy.
So, when I took over the helm about 2 years ago, I made identified some key improvements that I needed to make to really just improve ourselves and stand out above all the rest. Two of those top improvements were QA, QI, or quality assurance and quality improvement, and then an additional training, as much as we could receive. I recently came across GovWorks. They've got a AI program that is called Comms Coach. So it offers two different things. First would be the QA, QI. Traditional QA, QI programs, you do a random sampling of calls. Generally, it's about 5%. It takes quite a long time to listen to these calls and then grade, grade them. And then a lot of times there's a lot of personal bias. Did they handle it the way I would have handled it?
Sure. You're a person.
Sure.
You have to.
And then feedback traditionally is inconsistent. It generally takes a long time for dispatchers to receive feedback on how they could have improved on a call. Where with Comms Coach, it can grade 100% of eligible calls within 15 minutes. And so it removes any sort of biases on the grading portion.
May remove a lot. I'm sure there's still someone's having to set that up and so, but anyway, I understand what you mean.
So I get to go in there and set up what the grading scale is. And hopefully I would make it a group effort for dispatchers and anybody that, anyone with a vested interest in seeing, how we handle it. But the feedback for this QA, QI, it's regular, continuous. The dispatchers get reports, like I said, almost 15 minutes after the call is completed. And then they also offer simulations. So how we take calls now, there's a AI where you can send an AI call to the dispatchers, and then they'll handle that call in real time without the risk to life or, so that's one of the big downfalls is when we do train our people, they have less experience in some areas where I feel like this would kind of pick up that lack of experience. We don't want bad things to happen, but that's a lot of times how we get our experience in dispatch. So I think this simulation would be great in helping us prepare for those high stress, low frequency events. And additionally, they have asked us to be their flagship partner in Indiana, which is pretty exciting. We would be the first agency within Indiana to have this program.
So what other states are they in?
Virginia, there are a lot on the East Coast
East
right now.
Coast?
As far as Indiana, we would be there first. If you guys approve, I would like permission to enter into this contract with them.
from where I stand, you've done nothing but bring this up.
We're trying.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of training.
You have.
We've trained on how to build a QI program. We have the training in place, but now, the big issue is dedicating time for a person to do it, or, this alleviates a lot of that stress. Hopefully we can, with this, we can continue doing even more training, more improvement.
Thing is, it might save one life.
Yeah, and that'd be worth it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think it should, it's again, you don't have some of those scenarios, maybe not in your lifetime, maybe once in your lifetime, and to be able to have it gone through it, it's, and.
Yeah. And so, one cool feature is you can take a 911 call that you've already received, and then the AI will scrub the names. And then you can have everybody participate on that call, and they'll get feedback on that as well from Greta.
Yeah.
Can I comment?
Sure.
So far with Brandon, I have impeccable, wonderful relationship with him. As far as coming in when we do see issues, me and him both, I've changed the way we do things. And I've come in and he's had his board up there. My biggest thing was this quality assurance. A system that would allow us to detect an incident or correct an incident to help with that at a much quicker pace. Because when I call him and say, hey, I think we need to check this call out, he has to spend several hours looking that up. And then we have to sit there and we have to listen to every second of the audio. And so far, everything he's done has moved this 911 system forward, not backwards, as opposed to what we had before. So I think he's raised it to a level that is really going to take us into the future and get us to where we need to be. Because I think he can win some awards after he gets all this straightened out.
Is that what you're doing this for?
It's a trophy hunter.
Trophy hunter.
Trophy hunter.
Yeah, if we see a trophy case show up in your budget one day, we'll know.
I'll bring the first one in.
No, I agree. I think Brandon's done a really, really good job. And you've not gotten to a point and said, yeah, we're done. We're gonna keep going. And that's
We'll always,
right. That's
always
good.
room for improvement.
So, the question will be funding. Do you have it?
It's already in the funds now. We've just kind of mixed the way we've already we changed some funds over, and but currently it's in our budget to afford this year and next year as well.
Sure, okay. Sorry, I'd ask, but
Yeah.
just if we needed to go looking for some fun.
Funding. Well, that being said, I make a recommendation or a motion that we allow Brandon to sign up for the comms coach by GovWorks.
So I second that. I mean, so it looks like here for the remainder of the year, so 4 months, $3,126, but then, and then next year for the whole year, 12,500.
Yeah.
It looks like you're getting some sizable discounts from the original, but just because of the flagship.
Yeah, they want.
Okay, well, it's all right. We'll be the guinea, flagship, and that's all right. Well, once again, I mean, to be able to do what you said, you can take your calls that have happened, scrub it, and go through them again. Sometimes that's very without, I mean, they'll know that they're going through a call again, but it will help other people who may not have gone through the call.
And the fire department's invited me out to a grain bin rescue training a couple of days back. And I'm like, this would be a perfect, because I've never done a grain bin rescue call.
Sure.
So that would be nice to be able to do that myself. And they've got great equipment and, just these kind of things that I think it could be very beneficial.
So I second that. I don't think I got to the second example.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Yes.
Saying that one.
Get it over to them.
Good.
Thank you.
So,
Is that your update too
do you
then?
give an update?
I do have an update, but
Yep.
I think,
All right,
go.
Jason will probably continue on.
So we have two dispatchers that have earned their EID, which is actual excellence in dispatch. And we have one in progress. So what that requires you to do is to take, I think it's about 4 calls in a short time spans. And then you obtain an EID, excellence in dispatch from Nina. So we've got 2 completed on that, 1 in progress. Our supervisor, Emily Kirchhoff, she completed CMCP certification, which is a center manager certification program. So we now have 2 in Jefferson County. So that's in 911 world, that's the second highest level of certification you can achieve. We're gonna start conducting study nights. We plan on going for ENP. So hopefully we'll have 2 ENPs here in Jefferson County here soon. We've done some or conducted some interviews this week. We plan to make an offer beginning of next week. I've been working with Comms Coach. We started some online training with Police Legal Sciences. They send you kind of like a news article once a month, and then you read it and take a quiz, and it counts for some training hours. We're now on Facebook. Thanks to Sarah over there. That's Jefferson County, Indiana 911. And then budgets next week. So.
Yep.
Other than that, all we got,
Quite a bit.
right?
Yes, sir. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Stay the course. That Jason for the approval of that.
Good evening, good.
Time's up.
Good with it.
I've been waiting for.
Yeah, I'm good with it. So just so you guys know, I am not color coordinated like everybody else tonight with the highlighters. They're pretty awesome. I'm posting savvy. So we come in tonight with the oil distributor truck, quotes and everything per the local agreement with Scott County. So come in with that. I did break it down, truck chassis separate from the tank body. So the truck chassis is $137,995 on that. And then I got 2 quotes, one with a 3,000 gallon tank on the truck chassis with a 22-foot spray bar, so we can compensate for the new chip spreader that Scott County has. It come in at $340,895 total. That's truck chassis with the tank set up.
Spread it more.
I also quoted out the same truck chassis with a 3,500 gallon tank. And it comes out to $349,695, which is $8,800 difference. We feel the extra 500 gallons would save us time on the road. You know, we can go down to 2 pulls a day instead of 3. You know, it's a 45-minute round deal to fill up, get back and everything. So we can eliminate 45 minutes. That may be an extra tanker a day, you know, to get through our chip seal quicker. So I just coming for approval on the 3,500 gallon tank at $349,000.
A lot of money too, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, yeah. We've been saving.
Gotta have tools.
Oh, yeah. We've sold Coke cans and everything. We're doing.
Lot of red ball.
Always do red ball, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure. So I'll make a motion, we accept so this is the bid, right? You have the funds, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it's all ready to
All
go.
right, all right.
Approval.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the oil spreader truck with the 3,500 gallon tank and the chassis and the spreader bar for $349,695.
$695.
Sorry, I don't have the capacity to hold all the memory right now.
No sense.
It's been a rough 2 weeks, so.
I second Dave's motion.
Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Nice. All right, now I'll just go into department update.
Yeah, why
You
not?
didn't tell them about the leather interior and the AC and all that. Oh, I'm sorry,
Actually,
I'm sorry. I
It's
wasn't-
vinyl interior.
I know.
And because I know how them guys are, you know, but now they do a good job with
They
it.
do. They take pretty good care of stuff.
So speaking of department updates, wow, what a couple weeks here. Still punching culverts in. We keep finding stuff, you know. Backside of Hereford Lake, we call it Hereford Lake. It's the new addition there. I can't, Bobby, what's the new side's name?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I got him too. So
Backside of her.
Back
Hereford
here.
Lake.
there's a gravel,
Willow Drive and is that?
maybe. It's where the sheriff lives.
Oh, Lakeside, I mean.
Yeah, I'll get somebody to get it figured out, but back here, there's a
Back there.
gravel drive back here. It's ours to an extent that turns to a driveway. We had a culvert collapse back here, a trash truck fell through it. So yeah, that was a good time. They got him out of there and, I believe it was Tuesday, we come in there and replaced that and what a disaster it was. We found all kinds of lines in there. We hired a guy to come in with a vac trailer with, they got like a high pressure washer there and it vacuums it to find our lines. We found almost all of them, but
Almost.
almost all of them, but you know, we did hit a septic line and thankfully the septic department down there at Madison was gracious enough to help us out with that. Got it
So
changed.
a sewer line, not a septic line.
Yeah, it's a sewer line,
Okay,
but
okay.
yeah,
Making sure.
it was a forced one too, so that's
Oh.
pretty neat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
them guys had a good time. I was like, I'm out, so. But they did get the water line, so they washed it off. So anyway,
Self-cleaning.
yeah.
Oh.
So I mean, we done good with that. It was a nightmare to do, but I tell you what, the guys pulled it off. They did a good job with it. It's all fixed. And of course, we've been out trimming trees. Trying to keep up with that, you know, just keeping up with that, trying to keep up with the Johnson grass. And I
Johnson
know
grass. Oh.
we get tons of calls on it. We're doing our best. We can't run the tractors no harder. We can't, I mean, we're just going at it, but Johnson grass with all the rain this year, you can't keep up. Hopefully we'll find a solution for that here soon with some, I know it's a bad word, some chemical application to dilute some of the Johnson grass that we got throughout the county. Hopefully that'll help out. Then yesterday, because of the distributor truck here, we'll talk about Scott County. We went over there to try out the new chip seal spreader over there. That machine's amazing. We'll just say that out loud. We had a lot of issues with it, a lot of bumps and bruises to get it going. We had to come
Thought it was
back.
amazing. Wait a minute.
Well, hold on, I'll get to that.
All right, all right.
We come
Got
back.
our expectations up and then you. tell me.
Yeah. So we had to come back and get ours, and we got the Scott County guys out there teaching them how to use on ours. And then we got the few issues that we had with the new one. Today we went back over there and it's amazing. We was clipping through there. I mean, we went a long ways today. Everything worked out great. So once we get the new truck where we can do full width, it'll literally cut our time in half. Maybe even more than that, you know.
Sure. Only one pass down the road, right?
Yeah.
Instead of-
We was doing 18-foot yesterday starting out. And, you know, that's a 2-pass with our truck that we currently have. So we made it, got it all done today. Today when we did it, it just worked out. We got all the bugs worked out, got it figured out, knew which ones to shut off, turn on. Trained 2 of our guys on it, 2 Scott County guys on it, and then we had a Scott County representative in the oil truck learning it today. So I mean, training went really smooth today. It worked out really good. So I'm really looking forward to working with them guys. Starting Monday, we're gonna start chip seal. We're gonna start on 850 west down in the Chelsea area. We're gonna connect that little stretch of gravel road. We're gonna convert it. Get that all connected. That way that whole system there is just part surface road. Then we're gonna move out through the county. I do have a list. I don't want to throw it out there yet. If something breaks down. I don't want to get chased with pitchforks, so. But we are moving around. I know there is a couple roads around the county that didn't get calcium chloride this year. Bear with me, you're gonna get a surprise. So,
A good
I'm not saying it
surprise.
out loud.
Good surprise.
But yeah, this is gonna be a good surprise,
Okay.
so,
Trained him well, Bobby.
yeah. I'm figuring that out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much all we got. The guy's been phenomenal, going through all this training. And then I also went to Clark County. Clark County's wanting to potentially do a interlocal agreement too, eventually. They're pretty excited about it. We got a couple pieces of equipment that they would like to borrow, and they have a couple pieces that we'd love to borrow. So maybe we can work something out with him. I do know they're gonna be doing a new brine system. So we may end up getting us a tank. Well, we're gonna look into that, doing us a tank, and then we'll just purchase the brine mix from them and just store it in there. Since we're not gonna use a bunch of it, we just kind of want to do some of our hills. Probably Hutchinson Lane, what we call our hot route for the ambulance, police services to the hospital, the back way. So we're gonna look into that with Clark County. So that's something in the future, maybe to help us out and be able to be a little more proactive, so. But other than that, I know I gotta work with Matt here in the next few days, so. He's excited. So other than that, I'll leave it to Matt. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jason.
That's why I'm glad you went.
Yeah, I've heard
It's
that.
following brain and that's correct. In fact, probably.
Brought you right in.
No.
Hi, Matt.
All right, installation grant, it's like the grant that's just never gonna die, I don't think. I got a few more questions the last couple of days, but I'm hoping that we're down to, I don't know what else I can ask about, but hopefully we'll get that squared away and be done. Got some quotes to fix the HVAC out in Hanover at the logistics building. To utilize that installation better. So just waiting on some numbers from them now. They were doing some calculations because of the size of the building and all of it. And thought that the last one that was out there was pretty small to have been up there to work so hard. I think he said it was about half the size of what it ought to have been for the square footage and all of that. I know Jason's excited about FEMA coming, and so they'll be here the 11th, 12th, and 13th. That's for the public assistance side, and that may be a little misleading when I say public assistance, because it's not the public it's government, police, fire, EMS, county highway departments, cities, street departments, those things like that. That's the paperwork we'll be working through, those 3 days, and they'll be at the counties in and out as well. On the 12th, IDHS senior leadership will be here. They're gonna talk with elected officials and emergency managers across the area down here. Just to explain the process and tell them where we're at. And it was awesome to have Bob, because he called me one night and said, "Hey, I'd like to talk to you about the declaration." I said, "I'm not sure what you mean." And he says, "Well, I'm reading a press release from Department of Homeland Security." And I'm like, "I haven't seen it. Can you send it to me?" So Bob's a good friend to have. And so we're working through that stuff this next couple of days, and so the 12th, if you can make it, then it'll be direct information straight from them about the process and what all happens and make up stuff like that. All that bad. Let's see here. September the 9th, 10th, and 11th, there'll be the training for that public assistance and individual assistance. So that's for all like department head people, administrative assistant people that can help keep track of time and equipment, things like that we get reimbursed for. And so that'll be a 3-day class, and it's a lot of good information. And I think it's just there's a lot to it, and I think we leave a lot of money on the table when we don't take advantage of that. So the more people get there to help get through that process, then the better off we are. And the money's gonna go somewhere. So we're really kind of hoping a lot of it comes here. So I'm trying to bring in money, not trying to spend money like these guys. The HIRA is the hazard identification risk assessment. The THIRA is the threat identification response assessment. And the SEER report is the special event assessment rating. I wrote them down so I remember them. They're all due in the next couple of months. So kind of everything is like hidden together at the same time, but they're well on their way to being done. We had a class in ourselves last week about that. And and I worked my way through the SEER report and HIRA before, so the THIRA is just still, I think it's really new. 2 grant applications are in progress right now.
And I'm gonna try to squeak in a third, but they're all due by the 15th. And considering FEMA's gonna be here for 3 days and all the things going on, so I'm gonna try to get that done, because I think it's important for us to work to make things happen, so. Had a great cybersecurity meeting with a lady named Shatrice Romero. She came directly from CISA to a private agency now. And so she'd like to come down and meet with you guys at a meeting, and so we just haven't picked a date yet on that business, but when I hear back from her on some dates, then I'll definitely let you know. CISA, the agency she used to work for, they do a lot of cyber stuff, a lot of physical assessments, things like that. They did physical assessments on some city buildings like the water treatment plants and alike. So we're gonna swap roles. We're gonna send them out to the county to do those things with the water treatment plants and where we store our water. All of this, you know, good assessment. They're gonna be here to assess the railroad. Because there's just so much stuff in and out of there now. It's just quite a bit different operation now than what it's ever been. So they're gonna come out and do that. So we're hoping to squeeze a couple of these in and then have them come down and get everybody else, make sure we got ours covered. We got a couple estimates coming in for the foldable wall that we're gonna put in there. And then once I get some information back, I'll put you guys in, let you know what's going on and what it is. And I'm sure I'm proud for getting something, but right. And especially after these guys talk. Any questions for me?
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Ryan, or Trish, I'm sorry, Trish was up.
You're starting to go.
Hi, Trish.
I mean, adoptions are really low right now. I mean, I think it's because of back to school and some stuff, but. We're wanting to start like our own website, have our own page instead of on that SI Save a page. Save a Pet,
Yeah, save a page.
savepet.com. Cause we can't put our videos up on that page. We can only do like one dog, and if you get to 18 pictures on the page, it won't let you add anymore, but we get a lot more animals than that in, and I do have sponsors to help us get a website and the domain name, you know, people are willing to fund it. I just was wondering if that is something we've been playing around with building this site. And it's pretty neat looking that I could show you all sometime. But I guess just to know if I can get it, I think we titled it like Jefferson Animal, or it's can't remember the title of what we were hoping for the domain name, but is there any? Like if I did something for Jefferson Animal Shelter, you know, Jefferson County Animal Shelter, would that be?
I mean, we'll
See nothing.
figure out with Sarah and our website how we can, is there
Link it,
anything there that would be useful that might help in doing those sorts of things?
We just would love to be able to display all of our animals instead of
Sure.
just select few.
Plus you could take them down as they're adopted too.
Yeah, well, yeah, that but you know, like I can do more things with it. I can advertise what we're doing on there, because now the page that we've got, we have to make like a picture ad to put on there and stuff, and we can make more public, make it look better too for you. And then the exhaust fans in the cat rooms. I know that you guys were talking back when we did the exhaust fans for the dogs about getting something, but I haven't seen Tim since about that. I was wondering, because we do have some extra supplies money, if we can go ahead and purchase an exhaust fan for the cat room and the dog room, and then Chris's can install them. You're okay with that?
Yeah,
I'd say go for it.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And then, you know, this last month, we have taken in, we've had 2 police arrests, like the people have been arrested and they had dogs or something in their vehicles. They've come to us that the people never sent anyone for, never relinquished the animal. They're just kind of hanging out at the shelter, waiting for something to happen. I had to give a dog back that I hated to give back. He's been taken from the public for killing a cat twice now. I had to wind up giving him back because the owner come forward and paid the fees. And then there's just, we have a dog seizure for biting a child where the owner was out on vacation and it bit who he was staying with kid. But when the owner come back from vacation, did not come and pay for the dog, did not come and get the dog back, just abandoned it with us. There's so many little abandonment issues that I need, I guess, assistance on how I can go after these people for leaving their dogs behind or, I think there's a lot of fees and fines that we can get if I had an avenue. Cause I know who the people are, I know where they're at, I just, have no recourse that I know of.
Does that come under an ordinance or?
Yeah, I think we can do something.
So that's what I was wondering
Yeah.
if we could
we
look
need to get with
into
Pat and draft
animal
something up.
ordinances and get them changed up a little bit. I know Janet had wrote a citation for me this past week and it got turned down because she wrote on the county's ordinances, and so I needed to maybe in our ordinances to state that city animal control can write on county and city, because Paul was on vacation. And that, the county can write on cities and counties things or something, so that we have more definition. And then it seems like the county, the sheriff's department and Madison Police Department are so confused on like the route. There's like the route we take to get them to court, because we've always, they abandoned them, let's ignore it and just go on, at least it's with us, there's never been no.
Nothing in writing.
Yeah. There's just been no way to proceed to prosecute or anything like that, especially with the ordinances we have now with the animals.
Could you look at the neighboring counties and see what they have and maybe
Yeah, well-
tweak them to what we need?
They sent out last year, I think it was, that I would like to see as ordinances. I emailed you guys and Mr. McGrath,
Yep.
but I can
Right.
resend that to y'all if you
Sure.
want to.
Recently.
Okay. And other than that, we're doing all right.
How many dogs you got?
We have 23 right at the moment. Yeah, so we're over capacity on,
Bunch of cats.
yeah, a bunch of cats. But actually, we're less on cats right now than the normal, so,
That's good.
yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Trish.
What an entrance.
Yeah.
Did you do that again?
You do that on purpose.
Here's Johnny.
All right, so I think I've filled you guys in on pretty much everything by email, but we'll just get a couple things on the record. Following up the animal shelter for Tricia, because I did forget to copy her on this. Three Rivers, they did the wetlands delineation field work last week. They're finished, and she says she'll have a report for us by the end of next week. I didn't have the heart to ask what she found, so let's go to suspense and see what we get, but, I know, but, managing
Keep
your
you in
expectations.
suspense.
Yeah, so hopefully by this time next week, we'll have something from her, so we'll know what we got going on there. Revolving loan fund. In the second quarter, 2025, we distributed $60,784, leaving us a balance of $4,000, so send you guys an email, we gotta figure that piece out. See, our Bookeye scanner down at the courthouse, we've been having trouble because it's just so slow and locks up the PC that controls the scanner. And we found out it was the original that was purchased with the scanner. I had no idea. So it's like 12 years old. So it was bad.
It's
So,
Really?
yeah,
Computer, 12 years old.
yeah,
Slow.
I think it's still around like Windows XP
Probably
or something.
Windows 7.
Probably
I
that.
mean, it was, yeah.
Oh, beyond that.
If I had to scan an email document, I'd put it on a flash drive and carry it over to my laptop, because you couldn't open email on that machine. So we do have a new PC.
Oh, so you took care of
I'm
it.
trying to get, priority engineering to dial in and put the software that we need on it. I haven't had any luck with that yet, but keep hounding them. But, that new PC we got, that was funded by Tabitha, the county clerk. So you see her, you might thank her. I think it was her historic preservation funding, maybe. She had that, so she bought that for us. So, if you see her, you might thank her. And let me see, we had a RDA meeting down in Sellersburg today I went to. I shot y'all a quick note on that, but just let everybody know the campground project is still in review. They're really giving no indication of when it's gonna be. The IEDC is still reviewing everything. And even if it gets to the first bit was, so we're waiting for review, then it goes to pre-commitment, then commitment, and then approved, and then fund. So we're still several steps away from the finish line on that one. But at least at this point, they're not seeing any issues, or they haven't asked for any information.
They haven't looked at it yet, but.
They haven't looked at it yet, you know. But so far, everything's moving along on that one, just as soon as we get the IEDC to, well, take a look at it and keep moving forward, so. Like I said, they got 330 projects that they've got to review. So yeah, they got a long way to go. And lastly, I just want to real quick thank Renisha and Patty and the crew at Serpsey for the work they're doing on the Rikers Ridge sewer. That's it's not a fun problem. And, and it's not been easy, so we appreciate it because yeah, that's gotta be resolved, and so, but we don't know how.
We're really excited that we're looking good for.
It's been a process, a lot of no's.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
appreciate you guys sticking with it on that, so. Like I said, I think I sent you emails on everything else. Any questions? All right, sounds good.
Sounds good. Thank you. That's all the departments. Well, what about Sarah? Anything down there? Nothing from you guys?
Not.
Not it. Any? That's Renisha? Yep.
Follow up.
Okay.
I'm putting on my broadband hat, and just wanted to, ask you guys, cause, funding priorities, especially with the new administration, have shifted, so a lot of the funding that was gonna facilitate a lot of digital inclusion, work, grants and everything is, you know, dried up or drying up. So, I just wanted to ask you guys if you also wanted to, I guess maybe if you felt like the usefulness of the broadband task force has come to an end as well, and if you feel like it's still useful and you wanted them to continue, we can, if that's the case, we can surely still be looking at funding resources for the project that they had. I think you guys probably had a draft sent to you a while ago, and then also the proposal for just how you wanted the task force to operate in terms of, you know, public transparency and everything. So if what you guys are feeling, if it's okay, either way, I just wanted to, you know, that task force is happy to continue if you want them to, or they're happy to close down and go about their lives if that's what you feel like as well. So just wanted to ask you all that, and because we are having our meeting, I think next week or week after next. So I wanted to kind of give them an update, if that's okay. What are y'all feeling?
I think they've done a lot of good work.
Good resource.
I really do.
For the county.
Yeah, it's been wonderful.
You have.
Are you?
When's your meeting?
It's August 16th. So we took a break in July.
Sure, oh, no, that's fine, I was just wondering if we'd have time to talk, our next meeting's 21st, right, so. Can we think about it?
Yeah, absolutely. If you need more time, that's what, that was all that I had.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep, Bobby.
I don't want to take too much of your time, but if I wait until your next meeting, this happens the day before, and you won't be aware of the meeting that's gonna be going on at the DuPont Fire Department.
Okay,
concerning the feasibility study with the DuPont Elementary School. That'll be on August the 20th at 7 o'clock. You better walk through the school, visit the school if you would like to, from 6 to 6:45 that evening. And then we'll have the rest of that meeting at the Lancaster Township Fire Department there in DuPont.
yeah.
When is that?
August 20th, it says save the date for a feasibility study for the DuPont Elementary School. I'm glad let's pass this along to you as well.
Thank you.
I've got a few copies, but you want to? And there is a Facebook page. I told you a short switch there.
You were. Any other public comment?
I had a question,
Oh, question?
because we're gonna go through another first reading on the solar ordinance. Just the solar ordinance, not the warehouse, the whiskey warehouse barrel, right, just for both of them, are they together?
Separate.
I was kind of confused as to what resolution you guys were reading today with waiting for the updates on the solar they got. So when will public comment be accepted on the solar?
Did I miss it?
I mean, I think it's up to us if we want to, maybe after people have had a chance to look at it between now and the next meeting, and we can give public comment on the proposed amendments from the planning commission.
What this back page was? July 1st,
Well, that was just the documenting the public hearing that the planning commission
the
had.
plan commission.
Yeah.
Will you at least get their minutes from that, since it's still not available on the website, so it's unclear what you were referencing in the public record, because it's not in the public record.
Is this supposed to be updated
Well, that has been since,
so they can go online?
right, they can go online.
No, that is the updated, the one that's online is not updated.
So you have not seen what we have in our hands,
Right.
so you don't know if this has been updated or not. We were said, we're said we were gonna put this one up online so people could look at it. And then we take public comment at our next meeting.
But you just said it was updated.
No,
That's why-
well, it's updated here. We haven't put it up on,
It's not on-
Like over here, so we're depending to get it off of the website, so that's all. We're just trying to clarify, we are communicating here real well, so excuse me if I have to reclassify, reclarify my question. So public comments at your next meeting, when you're gonna do
Sure.
another first reading for the.
well, it'll be the second reading. We don't have another first reading. We have 3 readings for the ordinance.
But you didn't read that one, so none of us have it, so we haven't had a first reading that we could review.
That's right.
But
Only you can-
the ordinance was reviewed at the plan commission.
But it's
we're-
not
we're-
available. Nobody here knows what you're voting on. Or what you're reading into the record.
They didn't publish an updated version for anybody else to be aware of. Only you, Ray, I guess, have it.
So it'll go up on the website and you can look at
And then
it.
we'll do another first reading, because you just did a first reading, but you didn't read it. So none of us know what the first reading is that you just voted on.
We didn't vote on anything, correct? We had a first reading of the ordinance to accept the plan.
Just vote on it. So.
Hmm?
Technically, a second reading, you could vote it in. You could
We'd
skip
have
the
to
third.
take a vote forego the third
You
reading.
could.
But you promised not to do.
Well, she's telling me I can pass it on the second one. I never said that. No. She said I could pass it on the second one. That's what she said. Well, and I said, we're not. I was
Okay,
clarifying that we're gonna have 3 readings of the ordinance about the proposed amendments. The amendments have been out there. Okay, yes, there've been some changes with the MSDS sheets. I think that's the extent of it.
No, the 4,000 acres of what the projects could be, they said it had to be whatever was taken out of production instead of what was in the fence line.
Okay, so that may have been the other one that we changed, so.
What changed? There's a lot of stuff that is.
So with so many changes, you're sending it to a second. The concern is technically, you said you wouldn't, but you could vote on it next time. Which means nobody has seen it at all until you're gonna publish it this time, so it's going straight to a second. So it's basically like we're missing a first, because nobody else knows what the first was. Do you see how there's not any
Isn't the
clarity there?
purpose of the meeting or the reading to help the public hear what the ordinances are that you will be voting on?
Yes.
And so then we.
Before it first.
That's why you have.
I want to, no, so.
Or even today.
So, we're not gonna read through, because that happened at the planning commission. You will get the updates. Right, but we're just gonna read the ordinance, our ordinance, which is the one that Ron read. Okay, so you will have a chance to look at the updated ones. Like I said, I mean, there are maybe 2 or 3 differences from what the planning commission had at their last meeting.
Change, so we need to be both on the same page as to what you're reading into the record. I don't think that's unreasonable.
Do you not have a clear under what
You can't
Read
even
into
tell us
record.
what your changes were,
question?
and you were part of the planning commission. Clear as mud.
So I'll send you what was changed based on the email and put this up so you can see what the proposed amendments are. And if we decide to go back to read this one, that ordinance 25-6 again for the first time.
So what you read today is what you'll read at the second one. We still won't have any points of what was changed. You're just saying, we're gonna change it. We're gonna accept
Well,
the changes. but we
you'll
don't know
have-
what they are.
You'll have a copy off the website of and the changes are highlighted.
And
that
and the minutes.
For the first reading.
Hmm?
Is that normally done before the first reading? That everybody has access to the information prior to the first reading?
We've been told it was on the website, but it's never been posted. The last update on the website was like May something. So
That's
the
what
last
I
meeting,
have. That's what was given to me by Taylor, the amendments, so that's what is posted online.
so the May.
They're saying.
So their last meeting where they voted in some changes to change some things isn't included.
No, the June 10th amendments, and then they tabled it, and then the July 1st. Was, those minutes are not even available on the planning commission yet.
There's
Maybe they'll
3 sets of meetings
What's
that
on the
aren't.
website right now is you're saying is what they have, that
Just, so I update just certain things, cause Taylor updates her, like, she does her own minutes. I mean, I can tell Taylor to produce something. But as far as that document right there, that I can put on like right now, if need be. But the last one that was updated was May 22nd, so you are correct. But this is the most updated copy that I have received. Is
So
what
when
is
they
right there.
update that, if they could date it to include all the revisions up to whatever date that was. Because the only thing we can see is the date that was uploaded to. So there's several revisions running around. We want to have the most current.
we wanna make sure you have the most current.
So I will. Cause that's not my document, but I mean, I can probably do like a stamp or something. And upload it, so that way you guys can see that was.
That would include the revisions like through July 1st, or the minutes, attaches in the minutes. Or that we can have to bring those too.
Because there's been 3 meetings since then, and revisions were discussed at all 3 meetings, but they're not on the website, and they're not posted anywhere for us to see what actually ended up in the ordinance you're gonna be voting on.
And you're not sure that it's the most current when you think that it is, so how do we have a first reading on something that you're not confident about?
I'm sure it is.
Does that one have a revision on
All the other
Agreed.
revisions, there's lots of revisions.
This is the one that was. Well, we'll make sure the most up-to-date one is available. We'll post it, and then we'll read the ordinance for 3 more times. But,
You wanna just table this one then?
oh, well, we tabled all of them, we've read them, but we'll read them
There was
again.
no votes or anything.
All right,
Yeah, it was just merely
I mean, it's just saying.
a
we're gonna
recommendation.
Right, we're either
Planning
gonna
commission
accept the
came
plan
forward with.
commission or not.
Yeah,
Right, and that's what we don't have is a plan of their recommendations to know what your guys are voting on.
you
Or
need that.
Right, correct. That's what we
I
we're
agree.
looking for, is that most current copy.
because the one online is May 25th, 3 meetings ago. So, and there were lots of revisions at each of those meetings, so we want to know that everything that was discussed and voted on is the actual copy that you guys got to vote on.
So did you
Because-
the first reading, or it's too late to do that because you already voted?
Well, we can have 4 readings of this ordinance, so it's not,
So we could ignore the
I
one
mean,
we did tonight, and
well-
everybody gets a page, gets everything.
Everybody might like.
I mean, I
Because
think the minimum you can have is 3. It doesn't say you couldn't, we could have 5, but we probably
you were
won't.
correct about the 4,000 and then the not within the fenced areas shall,
Right, it's the third.
taken out of production shall be counted. That, I don't think that was in the original, so.
No, it's not the one online, right? That's.
Right, so you
Yeah.
are correct in that aspect, so, yeah. And the setbacks were changed too, so.
You know, and what's online doesn't match, so it's like, we don't know. what they're
Understood.
gonna be.
I understood.
So when you just say we vote to accept it, it's like, well, we accepted it, we don't know. Well,
No, we didn't vote to accept any.
no, I mean, you read it as a first.
It's just kind of like a blanket type deal, but yes.
That's kind of why we do it. Anything comes up.
Well, that's the first thing that comes up. We want to make sure you got the most current set of recommendations.
Goodies on there, right?
Okay, any more comments from the public or any thoughts? Say amen and go home. No, wait a minute. Dave, you got anything to add? You good? Bobby? Good. You good? Only thing on our Juby Center that we're working on downtown is Jason is back off vacation. Josh is back off vacation. Jason. We're gonna.
Jason may be on vacation.
Yes.
No,
We'll
not
be
that
having
one.
a meeting here pretty soon to go over our revitalizing our old jail and turning it into a juvenile detention center, so. We're still working on that process.
Do you know when the next meeting date for you guys? is?
21st.
21st? Of August.
The one after that would be the first Thursday in September, is that correct? Is it first and third?
September, the 21st, then September 4th, September 18th, those are the next 3.
Okay, that's all I have. Just a reminder.
Yeah, I know. I make a motion to adjourn.
Second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all for coming. Appreciate it.
No.
We decided we'd come and visit today. Yeah, I'm gonna bring the wife, but I brought my son.
Vancouver.